Pro Roughstock and the world's toughest rodeo join forces in Louisville, Kentucky to bring you day 2 of the Duel in the Dirt at the 87th Annual National FFA Convention. Welcome to the Broadbent Arena at the Kentucky Exposition Center. We have a sold-out house for day 2 of the world's toughest rodeo event presented by Professional Roughstock. Hello, everybody. I'm Justin McKee alongside PBR World Finalist and the amazing racer, Cord McCoy, along with a bareback riding world champion, Kelly Timberman. And Cord, as we talk about day 1 in bull riding, a guy came from nowhere to somewhere in a hurry.
We got to see the new guy match up against the veteran and earned enough points, John Mincy did, to have a shot at a PRS world title. But not only that, we see Dave Samsel cut McKenna Wimberly's lead in half.
Speaking of dominant, the Bain train has been dominant. Brian Bain looks to be unbeatable as he continues to put monster scores.
Brian was 16th coming in, and now he's jumped up to 3rd. Out of his last 8 rides, 5 of his rides have been well over 90 points. It's just all about the Bain train. It's crazy right now.
All right, let's get to it right now. Our first rider is going to be from the world's toughest, and it's Kyle Brennecke. He's from Marshall, Missouri, currently 10th in the world's toughest rodeo standings. He's on a horse called Touchdown.
Yeah, this horse got a little bit of a thin neck, big guy, you know, kind of hard to get a hold of. You know, a good horse out across there, but when you look at the spur rides of what, you know, Brian Bain's been putting up as example, he's just kind of going through the motions. A good start, but you can see how he's just kind of letting the horse do all of it, you know, making the horse blow his feet to his rigging handle. He's not in contact before the horse's front feet hit the ground, and it will cost him in the ride. Really good draw all the way across there, though.
Yeah, you know, this is the kind of ride that could win some smaller pro rodeos.
Sure.
But here, every horse is great. Every rider is great. It's going to be tough for him to make it in that Final 4. As we go now to Logan Corbett, world's toughest rodeo, number 4. He's on Redneck Woman.
Another good start right out across there. Horse got some direction change, kind of a trick there. She kind of wanted to run around the circle and cut him up over that hind end.
I think in bucking horse, so they call it mallards. You got some ducks in there. I'm telling you, Alaman left and back right.
We call them mallards, but we call them big points of bareback riding because normally, you know, you're hung up before you nod your head, so you should make it through that. But when you get up over that hind end like that, they're going to use that force to just power drive you in the dirt.
Here's another cowboy from the world's toughest rodeo organization, Bump Postal Weight. We see him in the bull riding in the Pro Roughstock. He's from Ohio, Peaches and Cream.
You know, this is a national finals horse that a lot of guys have been on, really want to draw. She's usually out of a different delivery, and you can tell she wanted to kind of circle around the right, got into that wall, and a really solid ride by Bump. You know, he didn't have the chance to really expose himself because, you know, she just got right up there and got bound up. But, man, he stayed on his rigging, kept shooting those feet to the front end, and, you know, he's going to get a good score. But if she was a little bit away from that fence, it would have been
I got to give Bump I got to give him some credit. He works every event in rodeo, and to be as tall as he is and to make the bareback riding, the saddle bronc riding, bull riding, bulldog, he does it all. He does good at all of them, too.
Here's Caleb Bennett. Caleb's number 13 in the Pro Roughstock, trying to move into the top 12, make it to the finals. The Morgan, Utah Cowboy has got Cowboy Classic.
I love to watch Caleb ride. You know, one thing about this guy is he really turns his toes out, always has those classic starts. Right at the end, got into his hand and cost him, but across there, you talk about a picture-perfect ride. This is why, you know, this is one of the world's best bareback riders going right now. Look at the exposure. Look at him bring those feet up to his rigging handle, set those feet down. He's a little bit behind.
Well, I thought he got into his hand, and I looked up, and the rope was wrapped around his neck there, the flank rope.
Watch him smile. This is an ambassador for Crest toothpaste. The widest teeth in professional rodeo.
And the best hair. In Rodeo Fame magazine was voted best hair. Here is Stephen Peebles. Stephen Peebles, number 10 rider, the former Pro Roughstock world champion. He needs to solidify a top 12 spot, and he's on Feather Duster.
Same horse that Brian Bain had a week ago when it was 89.5 points. I don't know if he bested him, but man, what a good spur ride. Watch him, good start. Now watch his feet come all the way up to the base of that rigging handle.
Wow, look at that.
even a stutter step, never missed a lick in contact before that horse's front feet hit the ground. Boy. I mean, that's what we want to see when we talk about bareback ride. We want to see those feet come up to that rigging handle, flick off
I'm going to start calling him Rice Krispies because that had snap, crackle, and pop. That's the kind of spur ride that was. It's a big one. It's a whopper. It's a 90. That's his second career 90 on the Pro Rough Stock Tour. As we go to Tyler Waltz, the number 5 man in the world's toughest rodeo. He's from Pennsylvania on Fuller.
This kid has really impressed me. The way that he starts his horses right out of the chute, and then how aggressive he is. You know, even this horse kind of took a scoot out of there, and this kid spurs. Watch, right there, he spurred.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't a jump. You talk about a kid going for points, turns his toes out, ripping them all the way up to his rigging handle, beating the horse to the ground, being aggressive, gritting those teeth, and going for the win.
If you ever thought I was going to say Jersey Shore and great bareback ride in the same sentence, you'd have fooled me.
No, he's proven everybody wrong there. Tyler Waltz is the real deal, who move into the number 2 spot as we go now to the Bain train. I hear the train a-coming. Yeah, Brian Bain, the number 3 man.
Brian.
Hey, look at this. Black Diamond.
We talk about picking one up right out of that classic start and then just using his body and his feet to stall that horse out in one spot and yank her off the ground. Watch this. Right here, he's going to pick her up and just keep her there.
Wow, that's beautiful, guys. He's number 3 for the World Championship. All he needs is an 84.5 to take the overall season lead. Yeah, he does. 87 points. That'll put him in the number 2 spot. So it looks like the 2 traveling partners from Redmond, Oregon, both from Redmond, are going to make it into that Wrangler final round. Now, as we talk about Bain, the second place finish for Bain gives him more than enough points to move into the season lead past Justin McDaniel, who has held that post since Jacksonville from back in January. So congratulations to Brian Bain. Stephen Peoples, though, takes the round. Let's hear from the round winner.
That horse just had an awesome trip. She really let a guy show off a lot, and she was kind of dropping out of there, but she was dang sure one of them that if you stay ahead of her and stay going with her, at the end, it's a lot of fun.
We've got a lot more to come from the National FFA Convention in Louisville when we come back. Welcome back to the Broadbent Arena in Louisville, Kentucky for Day 2 of the World's Toughest Rodeo presented by Pro Rough Stock. It's on to bull riding. And, Cord, we've talked about Wimberley and Samsel. What else are you looking for tonight?
Well, I've got my eye on Dustin Bowen. He's coming off a 3rd-place finish at the Midwest Classic, and Bowen has the momentum and a very rider-friendly bull of the night, named appropriate. Lucky day.
First up tonight from World's Toughest is Ty Sparks from Broadhead, Kentucky, about an hour south of Lexington, in front of the home state fans tonight. Well, they're from all the states. This is the National FFA Convention. He's on Predator, but no, not for long. Not long enough, anyway.
Yeah, we saw Predator in the first round, and what a great ride that we were talking about that kid made, because how welly that bull was, and you could see what happens when you do it wrong this time. That bull kind of left a well for him, and he took the bait and jumped off in there too far, gave him a no score for using both hands.
Not the way he wanted to finish up here in Louisville. As we go now to the number 5 rider in the Pro Rough Stock Series. Here's Shane Rickley, Amanda, Ohio, on Blood and Guts. Ooh, tipped him over. The tall guy gets over to the left side and cannot recover.
I think old Blood and Guts kind of feeling him out there a little bit. You see him swaying his head back and forth, just trying to get him rocking with him. And as soon as he did, it might even jerk the rope out of his hand. You see, when he turned, he didn't even go with him. Hand come out.
Yeah, he did.
There with the ground.
Well, it's a no score for the first 2 riders, looking for 2 big scores to move on to the Wrangler Championship. So let's go to Toby Stover, the number 8 rider on the Pro Rough Stock Series. Magic Mike is the bucking bull.
Well, a lot of these bulls, they don't read where you're from, and they don't care. You know, it doesn't matter where you're from anymore. And I think, that's pretty cool about rodeo. They don't read the buckles.
How hard is it for a bull rider to ride a bull that's going away from your hand like that?
Well, it adds difficulty, especially that bull kicks up. You know, you're tied to the left side. So if you let yourself get stretched out, it's automatically pulling you to that side. So when the bull turned right, something's got to give somewhere, and he's already straightened up before he even turns.
Will the judge give more score for a bull that's going away?
You know they do. There is that difficulty to it, especially the PRS judges. They'll give you credit for difficulty, but scores is the name of the game. And here comes a good ride right there.
Dustin Bowen from Fredericksburg, Pennsylvania. On lucky day, was it his lucky day, however?
Well, it looked like it, looking to the judge over there, giving a thumbs up. I think he made it there. good ride. Away from his head, we just got through talking about how much more balance it takes to go away from your hand. You see him waving his hand, just matching the bull. You can see the bull's head going and his hand almost matching it exactly every round. Good job.
Hey, look at that, 88-point ride. Hey, he's number 14. He's just outside the top 12, trying to make it to the finals again this year. Now let's go to a world's toughest rider, Freeman Yoder from Zeering, Iowa, on Terminator.
Good put back. That bull really blowed right there and kicked his left foot right at him. He stuck it back good. Made a good recovery right there. Got to work on that get-off there a little bit.
And that bull needs to kick on the back end. He's kicking at his belly right there. Not going to give him the points. The bull's going to lose some style points there.
Stuck it back. You know, bull riding these days, though, a score is a score. And even though if it doesn't look good, you still get a score. It's a lot more than 0, and I've had them.
Well, you're right about that. He is going to get a score, and it's the second score. Who knows? That may be good enough to get him to the Wrangler Championship round. As we go now to Nick Leica, Dead and Gone is the bull from Three Hills Rodeo Company. Here's the man from Garden Valley, Minnesota.
Well, he's got to get him a little bull away from his hand. He's going to have to keep him gathered up the whole way.
Oh, no! What happened? Oh, he had him. I thought he had him knocked out.
Well, I think Nick knew it, too. That bull was away from his hand, and there's just not that much to get a hold of. It looked like he never let go of him, but at some time, he had to just kick loose that outside foot and chase that rope away from his hand. It was inching away from him, and by 7 seconds, it caught up with him.
No score for Nick Leica, the number 3 man in the world's toughest. As we go now to the number 3 man for the Pro Rough Stock, here's John Jacobs. He's been in a slump here lately. The Timberlake, South Dakota man is on Death Valley, and he bucks off again.
Oh, John, he rides better than that. That's the bad thing. You get in a slump, and then you start doubting your ability. And if you don't crawl over in the chute, you know, with 100%, you know, doubting yourself in a game like this when it's mostly mind control, it hurts. I mean, that guy is supposed to ride that bull. I won't make any bones about that. He can ride that bull easy.
All right, he's been fighting it. Let's go now to the next matchup is McKinnon Wimberly going up against Dark Vader. This is the bull that Dave Samsel had. Hey, Dave, I understand you might be giving some advice to your rival for the World Championship.
I won the round on him last night, and McKinnon, the number 1 guy in the world, draws him tonight. Could be interesting. The bull had a different trip last night, kind of shot out there and spun to the left. Normally his trip is to shoot out there and spin to the right. So we'll see what happens with McKinnon. I wish him luck.
All right, thank you, Dave. And you know, guys, Samsel cut McKinnon's lead in half. He's now within 300 points of McKinnon for the year-end championship.
Well, the lead is in half, but McKinnon Wimberly is the kind of guy that likes the pressure.
Well, and he also knows that this is Muhammad Ali's hometown, and that's his childhood hero. He would love to win it in Louisville.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
That's right. He's got to start. He's going left, circles left, then he goes back to the right. He's off his bull rope and down.
Oh, that's tough, right? And you know, just when you think you got the pattern of them bulls, the night before he's left with Dave Samsel, and this bull kind of looks over there, knows McKinnon is there, and mixes it up. I think McKinnon made the round back around there, but when that bull kicked hard, there goes the rope.
Yeah, he lost the bull rope. Here's the 2 guys moving on. Freeman Yoder and Dustin Bowen will go head-to-head in next week's show. Let's hear from our round winner, Dustin Bowen.
Really good ride. He about jerked me down first jump, got sat back up and comfortable, and came around the right good, and got a little lazy at the end, but able to make it work.
I'll tell you about another guy that's moving up, and that's Bronc rider Curtis Garton from New Zealand. He's moving up like George and Wheezy. The former New Zealand Rookie of the Year was runner-up last week, and he's back for more this week. Saddle Bronc riding is next. Welcome back to the Kentucky Exposition Center here in Louisville. We're inside the Broadbent Arena for day 2 of the world's toughest rodeo presented by Pro Rough Stock. It's time for Saddle Bronc. Kelly?
This is really going to be a great duel. Every rider on the list is either ranked in the world's toughest or the Pro Rough Stock standings, including world's toughest top-ranked rider Keith Brewer from Freeburg, Illinois. We also got Eric Wolford, who's 7th in the PRS, coming off of a neck injury. But this guy is the Iron Man of Pro Rough Stock. He's had more rides than anyone.
Now, he's also had more wrecks than anybody. Let's get right to it, and remember, only the top 2 advance to next week's head-to-head Wrangler Showdown round. Let's go now to Keith Brower Here's the #1 man in World's Toughest. He's the all-around guy for World's Toughest, and he's got black feathers.
Before the event, I watched him trim about 4 horses in an hour. This guy's quite a hand with the shoeing anvil also.
All right, he's from Freeburg, Illinois, and he gets the first qualified ride in saddle bronc riding. Here's a Rocky replay.
Good start right out of there. Lifting on his rein, kind of got his chin right out of there, but buries it back down. Really a control ahead of that horse, and the horse kind of weakened right here. You can see just quick kicking over his head at the end, and you know.
See, they've got that horse throat latch. The buck rein is tied higher than it normally is, and that horse kind of got empty on him a little bit. Wasn't helping him to finish the ride.
All right, just an 85 score. Will it be enough? Top 2 scores will move on, and here's the guy, Eric Wolford, #7 in pro rough stock, and he has struggled this year.
Go on, Eric. Go on. That's Cowboy right there. That guy's tough. I just hope he makes the pick a man. Make the pick a man, make the pick a man.
Yeah, he has a hard time getting off.
Woohoo!
Good.
Success.
Still not there. He made it. Yeah, landed on his feet.
You know, one thing, Eric, he's got to work on that mark out. He's got to keep those feet up there and really start that ride. It's the only thing that they ever really docked this guy on in the bronc ride. Good spur right out across there. Nice horse. Makes the pick a man. He's healthy. Going back to South Dakota in one piece.
84.5 for Eric Wolford. 84.5 as we move now to Ty Atchison is in the house. The former national finals qualifier. He's from Jackson, Missouri on High and Tight.
Yeah, this is a guy we've seen go down the road a long time, and that horse right there is no fun. You know, that sometimes you got good luck in drawing, and sometimes you don't. There's not much more to say about that.
Oh, he had his trouble keeping up. The horse was so quick. He had a little duck out of there. And he's moving. Fake left, goes right. He's behind, and just not his day. All right. 80 is the score, by the way. And he's just glad that one is over. So we got an 85 and an 84.5 as we go to the man we were talking about, the guy who jumped from #6 to #3 last week, Curtis Garton, out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, originally from New Zealand on chrome plated.
Oh, this is the horse that we saw Isaac Diaz get on in the first round a week ago. Horse had a little bit different trip with Isaac. He faded out across there, and here with Curtis, just circled around tight. And, you know, I don't know which trip I'd rather have. What do you think, Court?
I don't know. That other one looks so pretty. It's coming straight at the camera across there. Hey, you could tell that horse kind of side passing a little bit, and the timing was so good. You didn't notice how important it was until the whistle blow. He double grabbed. You could see how rough it was when he wasn't in time.
And I think I like this trip better than the first trip.
Well, the judges like this ride better than the rest of the rides. 85.5, he takes the lead as we go now to Terrell Smith out of Cascade, Montana on Reuben.
Oh, this is a guy that's been real aggressive on our tour. He's really made a big jump lately. You know, he comes from Montana where, you know, they say the horses buck a little bit better because it's cold weather. But I don't know. But this guy, he sure can set his feet and ride good.
Hey, Kelly, what's the ruling there? Can you touch the horse before the gate opens there? He gave him a little.
Yeah, you know, as long as the horse doesn't leave the chute and the time hasn't started, I guess you can pet him if you need to.
Whatever he did, it worked. That horse bucked. That was Reuben from Three Hills Rodeo Company. High score so far, 87.5 for the #9 rider on the Pro Rough Stock Series. And here comes Heath DeMoss, Redneck Girl from Three Hills Rodeo.
This guy is always electric. You know, the thing that I love about him is he probably should have been a bareback rider because he's just all or nothing all the time. You know, right there, he's almost spurring himself out of the saddle.
You know,
I've seen it over and over.
He's coming around that circle, and you see light under that saddle every jump. He don't even stay set down. He just keeps reaching for it.
He needs an 86 to move into the Wrangler Championship.
I think he makes those horses look excited. You know, that horse kind of matched the one before. But it looks like the horse's rank. It throws him off at 8 seconds, too.
He needed an 86, and that's what he got. So, Heath DeMoss, and I tell you what else he got. He got some points. The top 12 go to the Pro Rough Stock Finals. He was number 15. So that's going to help his cause for the World Finals. Terrell Smith at #9 continues to ride rank horses and put together big scores. Let's hear from the round winner.
Just nodded my head, and everything kind of started working pretty dang good, and just got better as the ride went on, and just kind of a horse that's really fun to sit down and spur. Makes the trip worthwhile.
Still to come from here in Louisville, we'll look ahead to the matchups in next week's Duel in the Dirt Showdown round and hand out the Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance Highlight and John Deere Big Buck of the Night. Here is where we stand for next week's Duel in the Dirt Wranglers Showdown round. Kelly, the bareback riding's got 2 traveling partners.
Yeah, we've got Stephen Peebles and B Money Brian Bain sitting in there in the final 2 round. 2 new horses that we haven't seen yet, so bragging rights going down the road.
All right, cord and in bull riding.
Seen Dave Sampson match up with Holy Moly, and that bull is impressive. Dustin Bowen has got him drawed, and Freeman Yoder, he's got him a buck or 2 with Sticks and Stones.
Kelly, let's talk about the 2 guys coming back in saddle bronc riding.
Yeah, we've got Heath the Moss that's really making a big jump into our tour standings. Terrell Smith is another guy that's got a lot of momentum come out of Salina, so if we can keep him on the back of his bronc, he might do some good.
Time now to award the Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance Highlight of the Night. Cord, who do you have?
Lucky Day. That was the name of the bull, but I'll tell you, if I made rides like that, I wouldn't blame it on luck. What a good ride for Dustin Bowen. 88 points to finish off. That's a cutting-edge performance for me.
Man, there is nothing like the best ride, and there's nothing like a Kershaw. Now let's hand out the top bucking honors with the John Deere Big Buck of the Night. This award goes to the top performing animal. And Kelly, who do you like?
Ruben here in the saddle bronc riding with Terrell Smith. That horse has got it. You could see how he stayed in front of the chutes, gave that cowboy every opportunity to win first. And Terrell sat up there, and he got a round win on Ruben. My big buck of the night.
Our Big Buck of the Night is sponsored by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer. Next week, the top 2 riders in each discipline go head-to-head to crown the champions from day 2 of the 2014 Duel in the Dirt here at the National FFA Convention in Louisville. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.